Chris, the floor is yours. No. Unless if you want me to introduce her, of course.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Habari za asubuhi. I hope we all had a really good night yesterday after a very long day, but I can speak for myself. I had an amazing day, a lot of great content that we picked from here, met a lot of people, networked, and yeah, learned a lot about our beautiful island of Zanzibar. So if you didn't have an opportunity to do that, you have one more day. Make sure you run off to Stone Town and just visit all the beautiful places that Stone Town has to offer, the restaurants. Visit Doreen Mashika, get yourself a little bit of an outfit, keepsake from Zanzibar. Well, I have 15 minutes, and my job this morning is to have a fireside chat, and that is a one-on-one with one of the beneficiaries of Afrexim's Bank's many initiatives, which is exciting, which is informative. If you are a business here today and you're wondering, can Afrexim Bank actually support my business? Or if you want to learn how Afrexim Bank are supporting other businesses, then this is the session for you. And for that, it is an honor for me to have this chat with my longtime friend, and today, my one panelist, Miss Doreen Mashika. Please give her a hand of applause as she comes up. We should have had 2 chairs, but you know, we're just going to sit on all of them. Thank you. Yeah, okay, great. My mic's working. Is yours working?
Yes, so it is.
Okay, lovely. So, Doreen, karibu sana.
Asante.
Thank you so much. Let me introduce Doreen Mashika again. Doreen Mashika is the founder, CEO, and creative designer of Doreen Mashika Fashion House. It is a fashion brand that has, you'll tell us when it started, but and what it was inspired by, but it is locally born and locally bred. The Doreen Mashika brand draws its inspiration from the colors and the fabrics of our beautiful country and the beautiful island of Zanzibar to create African pieces, and she ships them all around the world. So she's not just famous here in Tanzania and Zanzibar, but your brand is known worldwide. Congratulations, Doreen.
Thank you very much, Doris.
From the time I knew you when we were younger, you had a real great sense of fashion, and I'm glad to see that you've taken it out into a business right now. So tell us a little bit more about Doreen Mashika Fashion House. I hope it is a fashion house, or is it a fashion brand? What is it?
It's both.
Okay, great.
Okay, so Doreen Mashika was established in 2008 in the heart of Stone Town, and it employs around 15 people. What happens is that we produce fashion products such as handbags, jewelry, and clothing. And today it's moved to the Shangani area, which is actually very accessible. And I'm glad to be a beneficiary of Afrexim Bank and explain to you like how this relationship came up. And
okay, absolutely. So, you know, as with every other business, I was having a chat with my new friend Kuda from Afrexim Bank, long chat about, does Afrexim Bank actually support SMEs? SMEs seem to have a lot of challenges when it comes to scaling up and growing their businesses, or just getting opportunities to be able to scale their business. But you have managed to be a beneficiary of Afrexim Bank, correct?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, this is correct. I started the relationship with Afrexim Bank not long time ago. They discovered me recently, and they started supporting me in capacity building, and eventually we are now in the process of forming an African Fashion Alliance. I being one of the founders and other designers across Africa. We're currently in the group of, that's called CANEX. This is Creative Africa Nexus. And we today make 120 designers across Africa. And the whole idea of Afrexim Bank is to support the creative industry and basically to monetize it. So what I've benefited until now is, for example, of recent, we were in Paris, but we were not only just in Paris, but we were actually at Tranoï. Tranoï is one of the biggest shows, which are under the Paris Haute Couture. It's got like 4 processes, and I must say that it's one of those situations where I would not have been able to open those doors on my own, but thanks to Afrexim Bank that has the bargaining power and so talented me. So they presented, I think, beyond 100 designers in the continent, and only 16 were chosen out of those designers, and Doreen Mashika Zanzibar from Tanzania happened to be one of them. So I'm very flattered.
I don't think you heard her. She said Doreen Mashika was one of the fashion houses that made it into the show. And that is absolutely pivotal for the success of your business. You know, sometimes people think that for a bank to support an SME, they have to be given support in terms of cash, in terms of money. But this is not necessarily what Afrexim Bank did for you. They gave you an opportunity. They made it possible for you to take your business where you could not have taken it on your own. How has that changed your business so far, or the trajectory of your business?
Yes, I must say, like, what Afrexim Bank was basically looking for talent, but also for businesses that are ready to take off. We've all, like, most of the designers have already done their homework, so it's a matter of support. Now, support can come in many ways, and Doreen Mashika brand is at a point where it's not anymore about the money, but it's the power of getting connected and being pushed to a point where you can actually, like, doors can open and you can take off. Capacity building was one of the, of recent we had capacity building from really top consultants that consult very famous houses. And I think from that I really benefited. It's first of all, I will not be able to even have contact with these consultants. And second of all, it's like there are a lot of zeros involved in that. So it was really like a way of opening those doors. So when we went to Paris, we were only 16 designers, and even when we got there, we were, at least I can say for the brand, it was very successful. Why? Because Doreen Mashika Zanzibar has been ready. So Afrexim Bank is adding value to us. And Afrexim Bank doesn't really have to teach us so much. But there's always room for improvement. So yes, this is one of the advantages.
And I think you have said something that is incredibly key. There's a formula for success. Have you heard about that one? Success doesn't come magically. Success equals opportunity plus preparation. That is what equals success. Nothing comes by luck. So you were prepared. The opportunity in the form of Afrexim Bank presented itself, and that equaled the success that you have right now. So because we have very little time, and I know Austin is going to be on my back about keeping time today, I'm going to ask you one final question. What advice would you give to any other aspiring or aspiring SME in the creative industry, because it's very difficult to get any kind of financing if you're in the creative industry? What advice would you give them if they had a dream like yours to make it big in whatever industry that they're in?
I believe that talent is one thing, but financial houses really look at the numbers and they look at the consistency of, you know, of your performance, and they look at the beauty of the brand, and they look at, you know, especially press. Press is very important for fashion brands. They want to see if you have coverage in big magazines such as Vogue, Elle, and that's what Doreen Mashika has been enjoying for the last